Resplendent. Written by Just Thinking Drabbles. Read by Arashi. Hubert scoffed as he looked at himself in the full-length mirror. Everything about the dancer's attire was wrong. Or rather, it was him who was wrong. It had been some years since he had worn it, and even now he hated the way it clung somewhat loosely to his body and left his pale skin visible to any who dared to venture a glance at him. Besides that, there was the matter of the shorts, which were, well, short, and felt a little too scandalous a garment to be considered suitable for a battlefield. He felt like he was showing too much leg, too many scars, and in more ways than one, he felt far too seen. The outfit was beautiful, to be certain, but he felt that on him he looked too much like a raven pretending to be a swan. The bells jingled and the tassels swayed as he examined himself carefully. His cheeks grew crimson at the thought of having to once again parade around in battle wearing this. He was not fond of doing so during their academy days either, and had not worn it since the war began. But when Professor Byleth returned, they had insisted he use his dancing skills once more, and somehow he found himself reluctantly agreeing with them. Seeing himself now, though, made him want nothing more than to charge and ignite the accursed outfit into flames until no evidence of it was left. But of course, he couldn't do that. Lady Edelgard was counting on him, as well as the other members of the Black Eagle Strike Force. There was at least one good thing about donning the seemingly risque uniform, though, and that delight came in the form of the dazzling amber eyes of his lover, which always fixated solely on him each time that he danced. Ferdinand was captivated with his movements, though he hadn't the faintest clue why, and there was always a pure look of adoration on his face that threatened to burn Hubert from the inside out. Often when faced with his fiery, heated glances, he wanted to look away from them, too afraid that staring too long might, in some way, bring about his undoing. However, for some reason, he could never bring himself to do so. He would never tell Ferdinand that, though. It would more than likely go to his head. As much as he loved the man, he knew that the praises he was given often did. And if he did know, then he might be inclined to do it more to incur Hubert's embarrassed reactions. No, it was better indeed that he remained ignorant of his feelings on the matter. There came a knock at the door then, and it startled Hubert from his thoughts, forcing him to accidentally bump into the mirror. "Yes," he stuttered. "Hubert, my love, are you ready? We will be departing soon." "Oh, yes." There was no turning back now, was there? He grabbed the handle of the door and slowly opened it, hoping to keep the outfit hidden from view a few seconds longer. The first thing he saw of Ferdinand was all of the armor he was wearing in preparation for the upcoming battle, and he couldn't help but feel woefully underdressed in comparison. The second thing he saw, however, was his bright and cheery smile, and the warmth of it somehow washed away Hubert's feelings of inadequacy for a brief moment. "Ah, Hubert, you look so resplendent! I feel quite mesmerized with you." His overwhelming insecurities returned anew at the compliment, but he hoped the scowl on his face was enough to counteract the blush forming on his cheeks. "Must you say such flowery things to me? You and I both know that this is not as flattering on me as it would be on anyone else." A dramatic gasp escaped Ferdinand's lips, and he stomped his foot to protest his disagreement. "What lies! You are absolutely beautiful, and I will not stand here and listen to you say otherwise." He rolled his eyes. "Ferdinand, perhaps it is simply that you lack the confidence which makes you see how lovely you are. I don't think that is, and if that's the case, then you need only be reminded of it. Please, Hubert, allow me to sing you my praises." He raised his brows, confused. Yet he was not given the chance to question him, as he felt Ferdinand lift his chin between his thumb and index finger, and bring their lips together in a warm and loving kiss. It was sudden, but not unwelcome. Hubert's eyes remained open for only a second before he closed them and allowed himself to melt into it. It was a desperate, hungry thing, as if Ferdinand was trying to convey all the desire he felt for him with this one single kiss. Several more followed it, some to his cheeks, his nose, his forehead, until Hubert began to feel dizzy from it all. When he was finally finished, he leaned his forehead against Ferdinand's shoulder to hide his face, and felt him wrap his arms around him tightly. He didn't know if he felt any more attractive than before, but he certainly felt loved. He didn't care if he was graceful or beautiful, so long as he had Ferdinand by his side. He was simply glad that in the end he would not have to face the coming battle alone. And truly, that was all he could really ask for.